Okay.
How are you? You came for internal affairs?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, internal affairs. We're internal affairs.
How can we help you?
I'd like to file a complaint against 4 officers in total.
Okay.
2 of them, I don't know their names, and one of them is actually internal affairs. I spoke to a Madeline Cunningham on the phone. I tried to do this over the phone, and she was very rude, very condescending to me. She said that I had no business being here in a public. She says this is private property, that I was wrong. So, you know, when you get that kind of feedback off the bat, do I really want to give her my name? Do I really want to tell her, have her investigate something that happened to me?
Well, she's just simply taking a complaint. It would then get assigned to an investigator.
Yeah, but I mean, she's no. You're gonna listen to me. Like her attitude was completely unacceptable for me. This is why I'm down here right now. Just like the attitude of Officer Hanley, and there were plainclothes, 3 plainclothes. I was out here filming the 1960s car over here. Filming all these Humvees over here, whatever I can see from publicly accessible, just First Amendment protected activity. I explained that to them. Spoke to.
Well, I mean, you would understand too. We have some concerns.
No,
we don't know you.
100%.
Of course.
I could understand your concerns, but
yeah,
I don't think it should be up to the level of cornering a citizen who has broken no laws and grabbing him by his arm. That to me is unacceptable.
Is that what
and
your complaint
threatening
is
of arrest? Yeah, and threatening of arrest if I don't provide identification.
Right. What's your name?
Can I make the report anonymously, sir?
Do you want to make it anonymous?
I could follow up. Like, I'll come back and follow up because I'm probably going to get an attorney, and I don't want to do anything that I just want to file a complaint and make it on record and not follow up. I can give you my number.
But you don't want to provide your name.
I'm in fear of retaliation. I was in fear of retaliation before, and then after I spoke to Sergeant Cunningham,
You were saying that you didn't provide her your name either.
No, I didn't. But I was going to. I was like, okay, she was talking to me nice at first, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then she started getting belligerent out of nowhere, and then she's like, you had no right to be. I said, ma'am, with all due respect, you're wrong. And she's like, you're not going to tell me what the law is. And
are you an attorney?
No, I'm not an attorney. I just know my rights, and I know the law as it pertains to the First Amendment, and I know the law as it pertains to public.
The one you should really be looking up is DeBoer. That's the case law you should look up.
Yeah.
When you go home, look it up.
Okay.
DeBoer has to do with the levels of interaction between the police and the public.
Yeah.
And it changes. You'll be surprised at what police can and cannot do.
Yeah.
That's all.
I know they can't grab me. That's all I know. And they can't corner me.
Okay.
At least I hope not.
What's your phone number?
631-371.
This video wastes absolutely no time, throwing viewers straight into a high-pressure confrontation. Within seconds, the cameraman is suddenly surrounded by plainclothes officers in a police parking lot, and the atmosphere instantly turns explosive. There's no calm introduction, no casual questioning, just rapid movement, raised voices, and repeated demands for identification while the auditor backs himself toward a wall, trying to create distance. What makes this opening so intense is the sheer confusion of the encounter. The cameraman clearly doesn't even know who these men are at first. They move in quickly, begin crowding him from multiple sides, and one officer allegedly grabs his arm almost immediately. That single moment changes everything. The interaction goes from suspicious curiosity to a full-blown constitutional standoff. As the pressure builds, the auditor repeatedly demands badge numbers while shouting one key phrase over and over. Am I being detained? But instead of giving him a direct answer, officers continue pushing for identification while physically controlling the space around him. The visual tension here is massive because viewers can literally hear panic beginning to rise in his voice as he says he feels unsafe and cornered. Then comes the most dramatic shift in the scene. While multiple officers continue surrounding him, the cameraman suddenly flips the psychological pressure back onto law enforcement by telling them to de-escalate, reminding them that de-escalation is exactly what police are trained to do. That reversal completely changes the energy of the encounter. The person being confronted now appears calmer and more legally prepared than the officers themselves. A female officer eventually steps into the confrontation and temporarily cools the situation down. But the questions don't stop. Officers continue demanding to know what he's doing filming police vehicles in the parking lot, while he insists he's engaging in a First Amendment protected activity. This first segment is the perfect hook because it immediately forces viewers to choose sides. Were officers responding reasonably to suspicious behavior near police headquarters? Or did the situation spiral out of control the moment physical contact was made? Either way, the tension is immediate, raw, and impossible to ignore.
4747.
4747. All right. I'm assuming you don't want to give a home address.
No, sir.
All right. When did this happen?
March 1st, Monday. I believe March 1st was a Monday.
What time is that?
Around, let me see. I can probably find it. It was probably around 1 o'clock, midday. And like I said, I don't know if you guys gotten calls or whatever, but I uploaded the video of what the officers did to me onto social media, and I've gotten 3 million.
Can you send us a copy of that video?
Yeah, I can send. I'll send you the link to the video. But in all my social media platforms, I'm not a social media person, but it's 3 million views. People are really disgusted on their actions that day, and that's why I'm here filing a complaint, because I don't think they wouldn't even tell me who they were. I was trying to read through your policies online, and I know your policies state very explicitly to be filmed by the general public, and I guess you guys are supposed to know your policy, but I don't know if you guys have a policy to identify when you're interacting with somebody. I didn't see that on there.
Part of the complaint as well, about not identifying?
Yeah, because I'm trying to identify. I need to know who they are to file a complaint. I can't. You know what I mean? If I committed a crime, you would need to know who I am to charge me with the crime, right?
I don't think it's unreasonable. You're saying that they asked you your name, but you don't want to provide.
No. I just didn't want to be in any reports, sir. I didn't want to. I was just doing a First Amendment protected activity, and
After the opening chaos, the confrontation evolves into something even more fascinating: a direct legal and psychological battle over rights, authority, and control. The physical intensity slows slightly, but the verbal tension becomes razor sharp. The cameraman calmly explains that he's filming police cars, Humvees, and public property for a story. But instead of ending the encounter, that explanation only fuels more suspicion from officers. They repeatedly insist on getting identification, while he firmly argues that New York is not a stop-and-ID state, and that he has no legal obligation to provide his name without reasonable suspicion of a crime. What makes this section so gripping is a constant tug-of-war between cooperation and resistance. The auditor refuses to surrender his identity, yet at the same time tries to show he's not a threat. When officers express concern about weapons, he voluntarily opens his jacket, turns around, and reveals he's unarmed. That moment becomes critical because it proves he's willing to cooperate for safety purposes, but not willing to surrender constitutional protections simply because officers demand it. Then the emotional stakes suddenly rise even higher. The cameraman directly confronts Officer Hanley about the alleged grabbing incident and offers him a simple way out: apologize, and the complaint disappears. It's a dramatic turning point because viewers can feel the tension hanging on the officer's response. But the apology never comes. Instead, Hanley doubles down, insisting he did nothing wrong. That refusal instantly transforms the encounter from a misunderstanding into a personal accountability battle. The cameraman now openly states he intends to file a formal complaint, and the interaction becomes far more serious than a routine stop. Meanwhile, another layer of suspense builds as more officers arrive and continue questioning him about why he's filming police headquarters. The cameraman repeatedly reminds them that recording public property is legal, while officers continue to imply his behavior looks suspicious. This segment keeps viewers hooked because nobody fully backs down. The officers won't stop pressing for answers, and the auditor refuses to surrender ground. Every sentence feels like it could reignite the confrontation all over again.
I told what I did.
To come and videotape? What was
Well, I like I told you, I was videotaping the 1960s car out there, all the Humvees. I thought they were cool, and to see all the other cop cars, and that was it. And I explained that to them, and I explained to them I have
You
no.
weren't videotaping personal cars of police officers?
I'm sure my video got personal cars. Yeah, I'm
You
sure.
can understand the concern of police
No.
officers.
I get the concern, but
Right.
you can't. There's a way. As soon as they
Then
came up to me, I
go
told
home.
them
When you go home,
de-escalate,
look up- all right, absolutely.
de-escalate. You're trained to do that, and they wouldn't. They kept backing me down, surrounding me. You'll see the video. It's
Okay.
not.
Okay.
It's nothing that you guys should be getting into.
And you eventually found out the officers' names?
I found Hanley told me his name. Hanley. He said his name was Officer Hanley. Badge number 655. He said. The other two didn't want to identify.
All right, so the two others with him?
But they're on the video. I'm sure you guys know them. And what was your name, just sir? Just so
I'm
I know.
Lieutenant Friedlander.
Lieutenant Freeland. Thank you, sir. And just to clarify, because I'm a little confused now. I know I'm going to look up that law that you told me, but
DeBoer.
yeah. But I just want to clarify and if you can clarify this to Sergeant Cunningham, that this is not private property, correct? Is this private? Is any of this private property?
This entire area, if there's a reason, we can ask you to leave. We can.
Just when it seems the confrontation might finally end, another group of officers steps in, and the pressure campaign starts all over again. But this time, the conflict becomes more strategic and psychological rather than physical. The new officers approach with calmer tones, but their questions reveal the same underlying suspicion. Why is he filming police headquarters? Why won't he identify himself? Why is he documenting police vehicles? The cameraman answers some questions while refusing others, carefully walking the line between cooperation and protecting what he believes are his constitutional rights. What makes this segment especially compelling is how the word fishy becomes the center of the entire encounter. Officers repeatedly imply that his behavior appears suspicious, but the auditor immediately pushes back with one devastating counter-question. Is fishy a crime? That moment lands hard because it exposes the exact legal gray area at the heart of the confrontation. The officers admit they mainly want his name for documentation purposes, but the cameraman refuses again, arguing that giving up identification without legal obligation defeats the entire purpose of exercising civil liberties freely. The conversation becomes less about filming and more about how much authority police actually have during consensual encounters. At the same time, frustration starts visibly building on both sides. The auditor points out that officers keep following him despite repeatedly saying he is not detained. He also notices the irony when one of the same people criticizing him for recording suddenly begins recording him in return. That contradiction becomes a powerful visual moment in the story. But underneath the legal debate is a growing emotional layer. The cameraman repeatedly returns to one point. He was willing to cooperate respectfully from the beginning, but the aggressive first contact destroyed trust instantly. Even now, long after the physical confrontation cooled down, he still cannot let go of how quickly officers escalated the encounter. By the end of this segment, viewers are left with a powerful unanswered question. If officers themselves admit he's free to leave, why does the interaction still feel so intimidating?
It's like if you went in the store.
Yeah.
You're entitled to go in the store, of course you can. But
Yeah.
can the owner of the store ask
But
you to?
it's public property though, sir.
Well, I didn't even watch the video, so I'm gonna let's let that go.
Okay.
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 Rather than make any statements.
And I did, and just to clarify, I did have a purpose here. I was
Okay.
videotaping. That was my purpose. The cop cars and the
Okay.
Humvees and stuff. Yeah.
And what was there at? Is there some type of project, or do you have?
Yeah. No, I'm just working on a story. Like I said, I got 3 million views on. I would never got that many if it was just police Humvees and and the 1960 car. But 3 million views, and they're gonna be calling.
The 60s car and the Humvees.
For story.
Purpose for that?
I was working on a story.
What was the story?
Just a story on police cars, old police cars, Humvees, stuff like that.
And I agree, you probably would not have gotten as many hits had
No,
not
definitely
had
not.
interaction.
Definitely not.
So
Definitely not.
that wasn't your purpose, though, right?
No,
Not to
no,
have
no, no,
3
no,
million
no, no.
hits
I can't force,
because
sir, can I force somebody, can I force a grown man to do something he doesn't want to do?
No.
No,
you
right?
You can attempt to incite that, though, right? Unfortunately.
I mean,
that's
Phil,
a realistic
I just think that you guys are too, honestly, my personal opinion, I think you guys are too scared of cameras. Cameras, they're good. I don't know why you guys don't wear body cameras. That's something that you guys should do. It's good transparency. It's good accountability.
Okay.
Equality under the law. You guys, I'm going to push for that. I'm going to go to the county executive. I'll write them. I'll do whatever. I'll show them the video. And maybe because of this, you guys make too much money not to wear body cameras and be accountable. Because if they had a body camera, they would have seen everything. Luckily, I filmed it. And it shows him grabbing my arm, coming up to me, them surrounding me. Like, they're men with guns. I don't have a gun. And not only that, I don't have to do any type of, I didn't consent to no search or seizures. I voluntarily opened up my jacket. It was a cold day that day. I said, for your safety, I want you to understand, I don't have any weapons. I emptied out my pockets and showed them. I had no malicious intent, and that's what I explained to him from the get-go. But I didn't appreciate the way that they cornered me against the wall of the building right here and attempted to grab me. I had to back up. I don't know what would happen. You'll see in the video, one of the officers tries to come at me from behind. It was definitely a scary situation to be in.
What arm did they grab?
My left arm.
Your left arm?
Mm-hmm. That was Hanley.
Was that before they talked to you or afterwards?
No, they came right up to me, Hanley, and the two other gentlemen just started speed walking towards me. And they said, "Hey, what's up?" And I said, "Hey, what's up?" And they just came at me, and Hanley grabbed me. He says, "Hey, I need to talk to you." And then he says, "Where's your ID?" And then they keep screaming at me. You'll see the video, but where's your ID? I'm sending it to just talk to News 12.
Where can we see the video?
They're gonna see it. I'm gonna email it to you. Give me your email, and I'll email it to you. I'll email you the link.
You said it's on a couple of social media platforms?
Yeah. Like I said, it got 3 million views, so you'll see it somewhere. But I'm gonna send it to you though.
Which one of the links?
It's on TikTok, Long Island Audit. YouTube, Long Island Audit, same thing. You'll see him.
All right, and then you spoke to Sergeant Cunningham today?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Like I said, she just wasn't. I felt she wasn't very professional, and you guys have been professional since you came out here. Like I said, you might not like me filming. You might think that whatever your opinion is, but you guys swore an oath to the Constitution. That's just my only point. You guys swore an oath to the Constitution, to uphold the Constitution. I showed them I wasn't a threat. I told them my purpose. If they want to know what's the story for, what's this, it's really none of their business. But I told them. I didn't just keep quiet. I could have just remained.
You look up that case law.
I could have remained.
What they can and ask, because like you said,
No, they can ask. No. That's why I'm not.
With a different interpretation.
That's why I'm not saying they can ask me whatever they want. They have freedom of speech just like me.
Right.
I just have the right to refuse to answer questions.
So they grabbed your arm, your left arm.
Grabbed my arm,
Okay.
started backing me down, all three of them, to where I had to keep backing up. Hanley didn't have a mask. The guy who grabbed me wasn't wearing a mask. No, only one of them was. No, two of them were wearing a mask. Hanley wasn't wearing a mask. Came up on me, pushed me in the cool corner, pushed me up against the building right here in the back. Well, backed me up, not pushed me. Let me use my words very carefully. I'm sorry. He didn't push me into the building. They surrounded me like a tactical formation. I felt like I was being like a tactical formation coming from here, this way, and straight on, and just continued to back me up, asking, "Give me your ID, give me your ID." And I told him, "I don't need to give you my ID. If you don't give me your ID, you'll be arrested." So at that point, I was like, "No, you're wrong. Don't do this. Calm down, de-escalate. That's what you're trained to do." It's all in the video. You'll see.
All right. I think you got your phone number is
631-371-4747. That's correct, sir.
Is there a first name so we can know either that or you do not want to give that? That's fine if you know.
I'd rather not. I just don't want any type of. I mean, if I called you guys, I called Internal Affairs, and you guys scared me more than anything. Well, Sergeant Cunningham, because I'm like, what do you mean? This is not public property, and I know that not to be true. How could it not be true if this is Suffolk County Police Department? I pay taxes to Suffolk County. This is a publicly. If you guys didn't want people in your parking lot, you guys could put up a fence or like a guard booth, and then I can't cross that. I was just saw the car over here.
Just to clarify, it's not public property. Do we allow people in here? Of course we do.
Yeah.
We want to encourage the interaction with the public. We want to have people come in if they have complaints.
Yeah. I think you're wrong, sir.
Our best asset is our relationship with the public, right?
Of course. And
of course.
I just think you're wrong in that.
And I can't speak on that video because I haven't seen it.
Uh-huh.
But if the police officers confront you because you video stuff in the parking lot, it would be negligent of them.
Of course. I agree. I just think that the manner they could have came up to me and handled it better.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. They not touched me.
All right.
Because I wasn't breaking any laws.
You got all your information. You got your cell phone.
Okay.
And so I'll be in touch.
So I'll be hearing from one of you guys?
No, it'll be one of the assigned investigators.
Okay.
The complaint, we put it in, and it goes on.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right.
I appreciate your time today.
Have a good day.
You too.
The final chapter completely shifts the tone of the video. The shouting is gone. The aggressive movement is gone. But in many ways, this segment is the most damaging and revealing part of the entire encounter. Now sitting calmly with another officer while filing formal complaints, the cameraman carefully breaks down exactly why he believes the earlier confrontation crossed a line. He explains that he already tried contacting Internal Affairs over the phone, but according to him, the conversation became hostile almost immediately. He claims the Internal Affairs sergeant wrongly described the police property as private and spoke to him in a dismissive, confrontational tone. That revelation changes everything, because now the issue is no longer just about one aggressive officer in a parking lot. It becomes about whether the department itself truly understands the constitutional rights it's sworn to protect. As the discussion continues, the cameraman repeatedly emphasizes that he never objected to officers asking questions. His problem was the manner in which they approached him, surrounding him, cornering him, allegedly grabbing his arm, and threatening arrest over identification demands. He even describes the officer's movements as a tactical formation, explaining how intimidated he felt being boxed in by armed men while simply filming public property. What makes this final segment so powerful is the contrast in professionalism. Unlike the earlier officers, the complaint officer listens calmly, asks detailed follow-up questions, and acknowledges parts of the concern without immediately becoming defensive. Ironically, that calm approach only strengthens the cameraman's argument because viewers can clearly see how differently the original encounter could have unfolded. By the final moments, the stakes feel far bigger than one confrontation. The cameraman reveals the footage has already reached millions of viewers online, meaning the department actions are now under public scrutiny far beyond that parking lot. And as the video ends, one question still hangs heavily over everything. Was this legitimate police caution, or a serious failure to respect constitutional rights under pressure?